Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another vinyasa practice. My name is Sarah and we are sitting back at the Colenso Cafe. If you are ever in the Coromandel, you should absolutely come check them out. They have amazing food and just the most gorgeous gardens. Today, we are going to be working with a couple of funky, slow backbends, and we will be working up into a pose called lion pose or Simhasana. And this is both a pose but also a pranayama technique, a breathing technique, and it's kind of there to help with building confidence. Is a little bit of a, I don't want to say silly pose, but it's one where we really have to like drop out of our heads and just have fun with it. You'll see why when we get there. And yeah, so we're going to open, we're going to breathe, and we are going to feel amazing afterwards. We are going to start in Avasana. If you have a block nearby or a pillow or something, then feel free to use this. In fact, I would encourage this. If you don't, you could stay kneeling if that feels good, or another position that does. If you wanted to, take your feet a little bit wider than your hips, bring your block underneath your hips and just sit down. Now this block is just going to take some pressure off the hip, knee and ankle joints. If you need to, you can stack a couple more on, especially since we haven't really warmed up anything yet. If you felt warm enough, you could absolutely take the block away as well. When you're ready, close down the eyes. Can you find a subtle alertness through the spine? Feeling that inhale lift you high, feeling the crown of the head reach towards the sky. And then as you exhale, feeling the weight of that exhale drop you down towards the hips, down towards the ground. And Avasana translates as hero's pose. So already quite a big, energetic pose. And before we start to practice, I want you to visualize you as the most confident, the most open, the most powerful version of yourself. What does that look like for you? How would you be? How would you sit? How would you walk? How would you interact with others? What sort of vibrancy is this vision of yourself giving? And then take that vision of yourself, kind of flip it on its head and say or believe that this is you at this moment. Everything we need or we want, we already have within us. And it's just about uncovering these layers in order for us to believe it. Three more deep breaths. Breathing in, filling up, letting the diaphragm expand, the ribs draw outwards, down, letting the chest expand forwards and upwards. Letting the exhale drop you in. And if it feels comfortable for you to stay where you are, then please do so. If it feels quite uncomfortable, then unwind and find another seated position that feels good for you. Can we breathe in and start to reach both of the hands up towards the sky? And then as you exhale, take one hand down to the ground, take a little side bend. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, other hand comes down, reach up and over. A couple more times in your own breath. If you want to add on a little bit, you could reach almost behind you, and then you could almost reach the hand down or behind your opposite hand, almost like you're threading the needle. Just moving in a way that feels good for you at this moment. Letting this movement and practice be an expression of what is already within us, rather than trying to use this to achieve a certain quality. Know that we already have this quality within us, and we can find it and express it in this movement. Breathe in, lift the arms. And then as you exhale, open your arms wide, turn the palms up, revolve the shoulders back. Feeling the shoulder blades draw down the spine, take a big breath in. Exhale, open even further, maybe even lift up the eye gaze, let the throat chakra really open as well. Bring the hands down towards the ground. We're going to remove the block if you have it underneath your hips. And you're going to slide the feet underneath your hips, okay? A couple of different options here. You could lean yourself back, just reaching the hands behind, and then press your chest up towards the sky, feeling the shoulders pull back. This might be enough for you, okay? If you wanted a little bit more, you could start to lift the hips up off the heels, take a little squeeze of the glutes, feel the inner thighs pressing towards each other. Taking a big breath in, lifting high. Exhale, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Squeeze the glutes. Take one more breath here. Whew. When you're ready, come down. Goodness me. All right. Roll yourself forward, tuck onto the toes, and then we're going to shift our hips back so that the knees lift off in our toe stand. Okay, stay here for a couple of breaths. Can you lift high onto your toes? Take a big breath in. As you exhale, start to land the heels as you lift your hips up high. Tuck the chin in a little bit. Let the upper body hang heavy. Take one more breath here. Inhaling, finding a little bit more length. Exhale, soften the knees slightly. Tuck the chin in a little bit more. You could take a little bob up and down if that feels good. We're going to walk our feet wide, even further off our mat. So super, super, super wide. Toes come in, heels come out. Prasarita Padottanasana. Wide-legged forward fold. Turn the toes in slightly, heels out slightly. Maybe a little shift from side to side, but the hips feels good here. Opening up through the adductors and the hamstrings. Start to walk the hands over towards the right foot. Come up onto your left fingertips. Breathe in as you sweep the right hand high. Exhale, drop the shoulder back a little bit more. Open the heart space to the right side. You can bend your knees slightly here if you need. Walk your hands out over the right foot. Turn the right toes to the side. You might have your back heel off the ground, or you might place it down slightly for your Parsvottanasana. Try to square the hips. Right knee might be bent a lot or a little here. Okay, take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, can you push the right hip back a little bit more? Bring the left hip back in a little bit more. Press evenly through both heels. Engage the glutes as you start to lift yourself up, sweeping the arms up and over the head, reaching up towards the sky. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, take the hands behind the back, clasp your hands together, and then pull the knuckles down towards the ground. Take another big breath in, open through the heart. And then as you exhale, soften the knee, the front knee, and then fold yourself forward. You might be up a little bit higher here. Eye gaze on your right big toe. Can you pull your knuckles a little bit more forward towards your head? Release the hands down. We pivot towards the other side. So turn the right toes in. But first, remember, right hand walks towards the front of the left foot. Hand can be down or you could be on your fingertips. Breathe in. Lift the left hand high. You could also be on a block here. Exhale. Revolve the heart space. Open a little bit more. Start to turn yourself towards your left foot. Left toes swivel around. Back foot might readjust at the heel down, or it might be heel off. Use your next breath in. We're going to start to lift the hands up over your head. A little bit of balance here as well. Draw the right hip forward, left foot back. Left hip back. You could go with the same bind here, hands clasped behind the hips, or if you wanted to try, you could clasp opposite elbows behind your back, or if you felt willing to try, you could try your reverse prayer here, pressing the palms together, squeezing the elbows behind you. Take a big breath in, and then as you exhale, hinge forward again, letting the heart space pull towards your toes. Soften the left leg slightly. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, come back towards your mat. Walk your feet underneath your hips, and then start to walk your hands out into your plank position. Spread the fingers wide, bind your plank, breathe in, lift the belly high. As you exhale, either on your knees or your toes, chaturanga, come down onto your belly. Untuck the toes. We're going to try a few variations of our cobra. We're going to start with our hands quite far in front of us. Squeeze the glutes. Use your next breath in to lift your elbows off the ground. Now the elbows still might be bent here, or they might be a little bit longer. Can you wrap the insides of the elbows forward? Draw the shoulder blades down. If that felt okay, you could start to walk your hands back a little bit more. Shoulders down, squeeze the glutes. Maybe hands walk back a little bit more. If you felt like a little bit more opening through the throat, you could lift the eye gaze a little bit as well. And if you feel any sharp sensations along the spine or the back of the body, the lower back, please let this go. Walk yourself down a little bit more, bend the elbows, do what you need to do. Take one deep breath in. Exhale, find a little bit more push if you can. Lower yourself down towards the ground. We're going to bring both of the feet up towards the hips. See if you can take your hands around the tops of the feet. And we're going to try pull our heels close towards our hips. Okay, if this felt like nothing, that's totally cool. Take a squeeze of the glutes. All right, and you might lift yourself up a little bit. The feet might start to travel out slightly. And you might wrap your fingertips so that they're kind of clasping onto the tops of the feet. This is our Bakasana, our frog pose. Quite a strong back opening. You have to lift yourself up a little bit using the strength of the back. Feeling opening through maybe the hip flexor. Maybe the quads. When you're ready, release. We're going to come down, hands by the ribs. Press yourself up into a tabletop position. So ground the knees down, maybe walking them in slightly, taking a big breath in. And then as you exhale, round through the upper back. Draw the belly button in towards the spine. Your cat pose, maybe a little shift from side to side in your cat here. And then come back through center. We are going to have a little play with our main sequence here. Extend your right toes out long. Have the toes tucked here. Use your next breath in, press through the right foot, keep the left knee bent as you travel back, three-legged dog. Left knee is bent and we open it up towards the sky. Drop the left shoulder down a little bit here. Soften the right knee. Take a big breath in. Keep the left knee bent as you roll yourself back forward. Right knee touches down into your three-legged table. Squeeze the glutes, lift the left foot a little bit higher. Stay here or try reach your right hand forward. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, take the right hand behind, try to interlace or hold on to the left foot. Maybe you just take a little quad stretch here, pulling the foot close towards the glutes, or you could try a little kick. Maybe start to open the eye gaze in front of you. Squeeze the glutes, draw the right shoulder back. Take another big breath in. Exhale, kick a little bit higher if you can. Right hand comes down, breathe in as you tap the left knee towards the left elbow. Exhale, step the left foot, kind of replacing the left hand where it was. Kneeling lunge, drop the right knee down. Maybe you shift it back a little bit. You could keep the hands on the ground, or you could come up onto fingertips. Trying to lift the crown of the head tall, take a big breath in. As you exhale, can you think about pressing the top of the right foot down to the ground? Okay, right toes are gonna tuck. Start to lift the right knee off, and then use your next breath in, ground into both feet as you lift the arms over your head, high lunge. Exhale, bend the left knee, but keep the right leg straight. Drop the left hand down by your side, breathe in. Exhale, can you find a little side bend? Left hand reaches down, right hand curls up and over. Inhale, stop it out, left hand comes up, right hand comes down. Exhale, reaching in the other direction. Inhale, come through center, and just like we did before, exhale, open the arms wide, turn the palms up towards the sky, open the heart space. Take one more big breath. Feel that energy. Reach the fingertips long. Hands bind behind the back. Place the right heel down, breathing in. Try draw the knuckles down the leg, and then as you exhale, lean forward into your humble warrior, reaching the knuckles towards the top of the mat. Eye gaze on the back leg. Can you drop your hips down a little bit more here? Take one more deep breath. Try keep the bind of the hands here. Come back onto your right toes. Then right knee comes down. Breathe in, lift up tall. Exhale, travel the thumbs down your thigh. You could stay here, or you could try bend the right knee, and maybe the right foot slips into your hands. All right, if it does, try take a little kick back. Ooh, that was challenging. Take one more breath. Hands come to the ground. We're actually going to slide back towards our right leg. Slide it in slightly so we come down onto our hips. Feet come together. Knees come out wide. Take the hands around the outsides of the ankles. Breathe in. Pardon me. Lift up tall. Exhale, fold yourself forward. Heart space in the direction of the toes, letting the elbows press down onto the insides of the thighs, drawing the shoulder blades back slightly. Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. One more deep breath in. Exhale. Roll yourself up, cross yourself over, cross your feet over, land your hands down on the ground, walk your feet back into your plank, breathe in, press away from the ground, and then as you exhale, chaturanga, bend the elbows, come down onto your belly. Let's find that cobra position again. Maybe you extend the arms out a lot or a little. Breathe in as you squeeze the glutes, lift your heart space up high. Maybe a little walk in of your hands if you had space. Take a big breath in. Exhale to lower. We could try find our Bakasana again, taking the feet in. You could also do this one leg at a time if that felt better for you. And if you were trying out one leg at a time, it's quite nice to bring the elbow in out front and then get a little push down. It might feel a little bit more effective this way. Kind of takes out the activeness of the pose, and it really allows you to push down on the foot. Okay, take a big breath in. Exhale, come down, hands come by the ribs, press up onto your knees, travel yourself forward, cat pose, breathing in. Exhaling to curl and round. Come back through center. We're going to try that all on the other side. Start by extending the left toes out long. Square the hips. Keep the right knee bent. Breathe in. Lift the right knee high, three-legged dog. Exhale to hold. Remember, right knee is bent, foot close towards the glute. Press through the right hand. Take a big breath in. Keep the right knee bent as you roll forward, tapping the left knee to the ground. Three-legged table. Stay here or reach the left hand forward. Breathe in. Exhale, take the left hand behind, trying to clasp onto the right foot. Stay here or take a little kick into the foot. Maybe you lift the eye gaze a little bit. Really try to squeeze the glutes, drawing the shoulders down. Big breath in. Exhale, release the left hand. Inhale, right knee taps to the right elbow. As you exhale, replace the right hand with the right foot, kneeling lunge. You might need to walk your left knee back a little bit. See if you can come up onto fingertips here, if that feels accessible. You can also bring hands onto a block to help assist that. When you are ready, tuck onto the toes, breathe in. And then as you exhale, lift the left knee off. Find groundedness here. Squeeze the glutes. Inhale, reach the hands up high. Exhale into your high lunge. Draw the ribs in slightly. Right hand reaches towards the ground. Breathe in. Exhale, find a side bend. Inhale, reach the right hand high. Left fingertips trace down. Exhale, left hand reaches down. Back through center, breathe in. Back leg is long, remember. Exhale, open the heart, open the hands wide. Left heel is going to plant down. Hands can come back for your bind, or if you wanted to try your other variation of maybe hands to elbows or hands in reverse prayer, go for it. Breathing in. Exhaling, dropping your chest down, eye gaze on your back foot. Can you drop into your hips a little bit more? If you needed to, you could lie your chest on the right thigh to give it a little bit more support. Otherwise, we're holding for pressure. If you've got your hands in reverse prayer, find your bind again with your hands. Left knee comes down. Breathe in, lift up tall, trace the thumbs back. As you exhale, you could stay here. You could squeeze the left foot in. If it does meet, then you could press away. Another option is just to have one hand down and the other hand on the foot. One more breath here. Hands come down, release the foot. Travel your hips back. Take a little slide forward, Baddha Konasana again. Breathing in. Exhaling to fold. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale. Cross over the feet. Plant the hands down. Step back into your plank. Breathing in. Exhale, bending the elbow, chaturanga. This time we're going to go straight into Bekasana again. Maybe one leg, or you do have the opportunity to try the other leg this time. If you did the first one. Probably should have offered this as the first variation, but it's good that you know the option now. You could even try kick up into Dhanurasana, bow, if this is something that you wanted to be practicing as well. Such a great way to open the front line of the body, as well as the many chakras that it touches on. Our Manipura chakra, our third chakra for confidence and discipline, as well as the heart chakra, throat chakra. Ooh. Bring the hands down, release the feet. Press yourself up, come into your tabletop position, but this time take your knees a little bit wider. kind of like you're coming into a wide-legged child's pose, and then send your hips back, okay? We're gonna have a practice with our Simhasana, our lion's pose. Now, if this feels quite uncomfortable for the legs, you can absolutely bring your knees in a little bit more. We're going to have a practice of our lion's breath. So what this requires is breathing in through the nose. As you exhale through the mouth, you shine your heart space forward, you stick out your tongue, and you could either just stick with that, or if you wanted to, you could bring your eye gaze towards your nose, or maybe the space of the third eye. So I'll just demonstrate, just breathing in, exhale, inhaling, exhaling. All right, and you just gotta be silly, you just gotta get into it, okay? Such a powerful pose to release anxiety, to build that confidence, the confidence that's already here. All right, I encourage you to give this a try. So when you're ready, knees wide, take a big breath in, exhale through the mouth. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, curl. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, open. Inhale, don't think about it. Exhale. 5 more. Well done. Bring your knees together. Good job. Okay, we just have a few more minutes to finish our practice. I'll give a couple of different options for how you can do this. You could finish your practice in a Virasana, how we started, maybe hips over a block, or if you wanted to try hips in between the heels, you can go for that. If you would prefer to finish in Shavasana, or if there are any other asanas that you'd like to sit in for a couple of minutes. If you wanted to try a reclined Virasana, it's the same thing, but you bring the elbows towards the ground, scooping the hips underneath, and just letting yourself touch down. Just make sure that you don't feel any pain in the knees or the hips or the ankles in this. A little bit of discomfort is okay, but know that we will be staying here for a couple more minutes. And in order for us to find a little bit more concentration and depth and stillness within, we need to make sure that the body is in a safe space. Can you tap into your breath? And can you notice if any energy has shifted during this practice? When we flip the perspective of I need to strive for this, or I need to achieve this because this is outside of my being. And we flip that to, I already have this, I just need to kind of remove the layers, or I need to shift things around, shift the energy for me to see that this is true. Then it becomes the reality of the situation and how we feel about ourselves. So I encourage you that if any time you find yourself lacking, in that lacking perspective, know that all the wisdom, everything that you need is already here. Take 2 more deep breaths. And if you are on your backs, just slowly making our way up back into a seat. If you are in your hero's pose, your Virasana, on your back, press through the elbows, maybe clasping at the ankles, tucking the chin in and rolling ourselves up. So good. I thank you so much for practicing with me today. Bring the hands to heart. Breathe in, lift tall. Exhale, maybe folding forward. I thank you so much again. Namaste. And if you really love this video, I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. It really does help me continue to keep producing this content. And if you would like to support me a little bit more directly and see some more long videos and some extra exclusive behind the scenes work, then check out our Patreon account down below. It will be amazing to see you there.